Take 29. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of our new podcast, My 11-Year-Old Thoughts, with him,
D Mankins, and him,
Cool Dad. Well, what are we going to call this title?
Let's call it Percy the Penguin.
Percy the Penguin.
Percy the Penguin.
That's a good name. Listeners, that will make sense as we get through the podcast. So, how did you like last week's episode?
Last week's episode was really good. I liked the mama jokes, didn't you?
Yeah, and I did get some good feedback. Then we might have some new sections in this episode. We might not. We'll just see what the flow takes us. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Let's go. So last week, we did a section called Joke of the Week.
Yeah.
And we did some mama jokes.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they went down pretty well with the listeners. We had a few good comments. So I think today we're going to do Joke of the Week again.
Okay.
And we had a theme come in from Dot Matrix. That's a bit of a weird name. I think he's having us on. Anyway,
Matrix.
he says, tell us a joke about snow.
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 As in the white stuff that comes down from the sky.
Yes. Let me think of one.
I mean, there's a lot of snow about at the minute because it is winter still.
Yeah.
And there's loads in the Northern America and Northern Europe.
Speaking of snow in America, is that snowstorm still going on in Florida?
No, I think that was just like a passing thing. In very often Florida gets snow, but it did this year.
Alright, anyway, back to jokes. Yeah, I got a pretty good one. I got a really good one.
Go on then.
What's the difference between snowmen and snowwomen?
I don't know. What is the difference between snowmen and snowwomen?
Snowballs.
Well, I know something about snow.
Okay.
That's not so much a joke.
Right.
It's more of a tip.
A tip, okay.
A tip. Never eat yellow snow. Do you get it?
Well, yeah, I get it, but like, you know, why? Why shouldn't you eat yellow snow? Cool Dad?
Because someone might just have peed.
Oh.
Now, D Mankins, you may remember from our first episode, we did a section called What Have You Internet Searched This Week?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and this week, I think we ought to bring it back.
Okay.
And so, is there anything interesting that you've searched on the internet this week?
Yes, actually. I didn't search it up really, but I did see it, and it was quite interesting. I looked at the news a few days ago.
All right. That sounds like you.
And apparently, NASA is planning to go back to the moon.
There's a big sentence. Back to the moon. Some would say they never went to the moon in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, because I saw an interview of Buzz Aldrin, and he actually said that he never went to the moon. And that was an AI, because AI wasn't good back then when he said it.
No, and I have seen some of the photos of this. And you've also got to ask the most basic question. Who was doing the video when the spacecraft landed on the moon?
Oh, yeah.
Did they land on the moon first, let the cameraman out, take back off and come back in and land? And also, all these pictures from back then, none of them had stars in. If you were in space, surely you would see some stars.
Yeah, and this isn't really the moon, but Mars. The Mars rovers, they have taken pictures which is identical to pictures from Greenland.
Yeah, I've seen this too. So what you're saying is, there's a lot of conspiracies out there.
Yeah. And one more thing. When they brought back the moon rock, not gonna lie, I don't think that was moon rock. That looked like a moldy whisper bar. It had all those little holes in it.
Oh, I do like a whisper bar.
Bro, same.
And now it's time for questions from the listeners. We've done this in all our episodes, D Mankins.
Yep.
And this episode is no exception. We've got some good questions this week.
Have we?
We have got some good questions this week. We've had one come in from someone called Carlos Boost 159.
Carlos Boost 159.
Yeah. So what nickname would you give him?
What's that chocolate bar called?
Yeah, there is a chocolate bar called
Cadbury's, isn't it?
Cadbury's Boost. Yeah.
Cadbury. Boost is also one as well. All right, let's go with Cadbury's then.
Yeah, nickname Cadbury's. So we had a question in from Cadbury's.
Okay.
And he says, what are your favourite 3 countries and why?
Favourite 3 countries. Let's go down. So, in 3rd place is England, because it's where I was born.
Only 3rd place?
Only 3rd place.
Oh, I'm very patriotic, me.
Alright, in 2nd place is Portugal, because that's where the goat lives.
Portugal?
Yeah, the goat.
Have you ever been to Portugal?
No, but do you want to know
And who's the goat?
The goat is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, some would say Messi is better. He's won more Ballon d'Ors.
Oh, really? Well, Ronaldo has more goals.
You know what? I'd have to agree. He does a little bit more than Messi, doesn't he?
He does. And in 1st place...
Number 1. It is...
Okay, it is Japan.
Japan? I wasn't expecting that.
Japan?
Why Japan?
Japan because I like my sushi. I mean, like, who doesn't like some rice with some dried up fish skin?
Me.
Oh,
D. Mankins, this is a good question. We had a question come in from someone called Sarah Adams.
Sarah Adams.
Yeah, what nickname would you give Sarah Adams? I'd go for something like Apples. Adams Apples.
Adams Apples. I was thinking Wednesday Adams. Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, we'll call her Wednesday.
Okay.
So we had a question come in from Wednesday Adams.
Yep.
And she says, if you won the lottery, what 3 things would you buy? Everyone seemed to do things in 3s.
I know.
Strange.
Alright, so, yeah, but how much money am I getting then?
Say you won £1 million on the lottery.
Okay. I would buy, what I would buy first is a BMW M4.
A BMW?
Yeah.
It's German.
What's wrong with German?
I'd like to give Germans a good bashing on our podcasts.
Well, yeah, you seem to have a strange obsession with that, but, like, say, for example, I bought a Beetle instead. Would you squash it?
Well, once or twice I may have accidentally squashed a beetle in my life.
What kind of beetle? The car or the insect?
Sorry, listeners. Insect.
To be honest, in my opinion, it should have been the car.
And Jeremy Clarkson would probably agree with you.
Appreciated.
So, what would you buy next?
You know, to be honest, I don't really like this £1 million. How about if I instead, for example, had unlimited money and just in a little click?
Well, what would you buy? Greenland?
What are you, Donald Trump?
How about the moon? You could buy the moon. Who owns the moon?
I don't know.
I suppose technically it's the person who put the flag on there the first. But as we've already discussed, we don't think anyone's landed on the moon before.
No. So, for example, if I had unlimited money, and if we could be the first people to go to the moon for real, then I could buy the rocket ship, the fuel that is needed, and once we've landed...
And you put a D. Mankins flag on the moon.
I could put a D. Mankins flag on the moon.
You'd be the owner of the moon.
I'll be the owner of the moon, but we won't put a Cool Dad flag on the moon, though. Who wants to see that anyway?
The cheek of it. So last week we had a decent story, the one I told about Tom Cruise, and we titled the whole episode
Mission Impossible.
That's right. And I think we ought to do another story.
Okay.
Have you got any stories? Have you read anything in the past? Anything that sounds really good?
Yeah, I did read one quite a few weeks ago.
All right, yeah. What was that about?
So basically, it was it started off in a beach.
Right. I like the beach.
Yep. And there's this girl wandering around on the beach.
And what was her name?
Let's call her Wendy, all right?
So Wendy, the girl, was wandering around on the beach.
Yeah, Wendy was on the beach.
How old was Wendy?
Like 14 years old.
All right, okay.
So Wendy just walking around the beach, and then all of a sudden, she saw a penguin. It was like it was an injured penguin. I mean, not
penguin.
Yeah.
We don't have penguins in England.
Well, it was in New Zealand.
Oh,
so,
right, okay.
Yeah, so it was an injured penguin. Not really too injured. His wing was a little bit worn and torn. So Wendy kind of felt bad for the penguin. So she took the penguin to the vet.
Oh, that was nice of her.
Yeah, to have like an operation, but they said that it has to take 2 weeks until they can actually do the operation.
All right,
So,
okay.
Wendy had to look after the penguin at home.
So Wendy found a penguin on the beach, tried to help it, had to wait 2 weeks. So what did she do with this 2 weeks? Did she take it home?
Yeah, so she took it home, and she plopped it in the garden. He was waddling around the place, and then Wendy went back into the house, and she was like, "Mum, we got a new pet."
And Mum's thinking, oh, Wendy's come home with a hamster or something.
Like a hamster, something cute, something nice. And then
She opens the back door.
she opened the back door, and then all of a sudden she sees a penguin just waddling
I was like,
around.
what the hell are you doing with a penguin?
So then Wendy had to tell the whole story to her, and they had to bath the penguin, pour some water on its head, giving it a little shake around, and
I take it they didn't feed it beans on toast.
no, probably not. No, I don't know. Can you get penguin food? I guess it would be fish. So like they would probably dump fish into the bath, and then he would swallow it all.
Makes sense.
And then
what happened?
okay, so the 2 weeks went by, and then the penguin was able to have the operation.
All right, and so went back to the vets, had the operation. Did it go successfully?
Yeah, it went really well. He was ready to go back into the wild.
Excellent.
And then so they put him back onto the beach.
And what did they call penguin?
They called him Percy.
Percy the penguin.
Percy the penguin.
So Percy lived with Wendy and the family for 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. So this whole thing is true. So
This is unbelievable.
Percy went back into the ocean,
Yeah,
having a little swim around.
yeah.
But then, like 1 week later, a few days later, Percy came back to the house to see them. So it went back and forth, back and forth.
So Percy kept visiting Wendy.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah, they like bonded. Wherever Wendy went, so did Percy. And even they had 2 pets of themselves, which was a dog and a cat. And even Percy was friends with them. Anyway, he went back to his ocean again, and then all of a sudden he was just having a little nice swim.
This is a nice story.
Yeah, having a little nice swim around, and all of a sudden, gobble gobble gobble, the whale ate Percy.
A whale ate Percy.
Yep.
After all these weeks and waiting for an operation and looking after Percy, a whale came along and ate him.
Yep.
Oh. Well, that was a cool story.
And that concludes episode 3, Percy the Penguin of My 11-Year-Old Thoughts. How did you find this episode, Cool Dad?
I thought this was a good episode. I particularly liked the story about the penguin.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I think we could do this section again next time.
Alright, yeah, that was fun.
Well, it's bye from me.
And it's bye from D-Mankins.